Hey, what's going on, everybody? Your boy Maurice, the sports historian, back with another video. We going over the 2023 NBA conference finals matchups. We're gonna do a little preview before the conference finals start today with the Lakers and Nuggets at 7:30 on ESPN, 7:30 Central Time, because that's where I live. We're going to be going over both of these series. I'm going to keep it brief. I'm going to also keep them both into one video. Since the Western Conference Finals is starting before the Eastern Conference Finals, I guess we're going to go over that one first. And then hopefully, barring any setbacks tomorrow, I should give you guys the semifinals recap. Semis, not semifinals. The semis, I'll give you guys a semis recap tomorrow and cover all of the series in that round. But we're talking about the Western Conference Finals. The Denver Nuggets face off against the Los Angeles Lakers, the 1 seed Denver Nuggets versus the 7 seed Los Angeles Lakers. The big thing we're going to all have to watch for this series is how does Anthony Davis guard Nikola Jokic. One thing that I think the Lakers are going to try to do is have Anthony Davis guard Jokic one-on-one as much as possible. As we all know, if you try to guard Nikola Jokic, there's always going to be someone open on the court. Jokic is like one of the best at passing out of the double teams in the league, and it seems like whenever the ball leaves his hands, it always ends up in the hands of a three-point shooter, or you know, in the hands of someone open, an open cutter, something like that. So the Lakers' game plan for this series is going to probably be having Anthony Davis play as much single coverage against Jokic as I can. And that's not an easy task at all. Some of the things we saw, I'm going to go back a little bit into the semi-series for the Lakers versus Warriors, was the Warriors did a good job of using the pick and roll to take Anthony Davis out of the paint. That's something that I think the Nuggets will also try to implement to a degree. Although this time they can implement that with Jokic, not necessarily extended super far to the three-point line, but it can if need be. I think we're going to see a lot more Jokic mid-range jumpers to try and, you know, bring Anthony Davis out of the paint, so you know he can get the quick dump offs to Aaron Gordon, get the pick and roll, you know, the passes to Jamal Murray, or even if they want to run some pick and roll action with MPJ, which they probably won't, but you know, stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely the key matchup of this series, seeing how Anthony Davis guards Jokic. And of course, I'm not expecting them to just leave AD alone on an island for like the entire series. I do think that at times they're probably going to mix it up, send some double teams, might switch off Anthony Davis and have him potentially be help side, you know, get somebody smaller on Nikola Jokic to entice him to want to, you know, back him down in the post, have Anthony Davis help side, weak side on the with the help. So yeah, a secondary matchup that I think is also going to play a major, you know, role in this series is Aaron Gordon's role on guarding LeBron James. Now, last series we saw Aaron Gordon defend the hell out of Kevin Durant, right? There's a ESPN someone shared a tweet from like NBA statistics, and it said like Aaron Gordon held Kevin Durant to under 40% shooting for the entire series, or something like that. Did very good as the primary defender on that Kevin Durant. So one can only assume he's going to also be the primary defender on LeBron James. Now, LeBron still isn't fully healthy. He's still dealing with that foot issue that sidelined him late in the season, and we didn't know how quickly he was going to come back from. He's back, but if you've watched LeBron, he's clearly not the same player. He's lost a little bit of burst of speed, relied more heavily on his jump shot, which has not been going in like at all. And by jump shot, I mean his three-pointer has not been going in. Dare I say he's been like very, very, very bad from three. Well, he's been very bad from three for the entirety of the season, but like, you know, as of recent, it's been even more rough. Actually, I think he hit a few threes in that Warriors game, the game 7 that they played. I think he went like 3 of 6. So besides that game, he shot very poorly from three. So I think that gives Aaron Gordon a better, you know, chance at guarding LeBron James. I do think that LeBron will probably end up getting the better of Aaron Gordon, just because like I can give LeBron the benefit of the doubt, but also acknowledge that Aaron Gordon is not the easiest, you know, defensive matchup, you know, for LeBron James to have to deal with, especially with, you know, him dealing with this injury right now. It'll likely. I wanted to say LeBron might get the better of Aaron Gordon, but you know, Aaron Gordon played really, really solid defense on Kevin Durant last series, so it'll likely be even. One thing that we're gonna have to see from the Lakers. I don't think that they can win this series if LeBron James is the best player is the best player in a Lakers jersey. I'm sorry. We're past the days of LeBron being, you know, the clear de facto best player on the court, because right now he shares a court with Nikola Jokic, and Nikola Jokic is, I'd say, probably the best player in the world right now. So, in my opinion, this is Anthony Davis. This series, right, with the implementation of the new Western Conference Finals MVP. In order for the Lakers to really have a shot at winning this series, because they are the underdog, for a good reason, because this Nuggets team is not a joke. I do see like the Western Conference Finals MVP. It needs to be Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis needs to be the best player on the court, not on the court, on the team. He was the best player on the team last series against the Warriors. You know, despite some of his offensive struggles. He was locked in like he's been locked in defensively the entire playoffs. That's no secret. He's been killing it on the defensive end. So, those are some things that are, you know, going to make or break this series. The matchup versus Jokic, AD versus Jokic, the matchup on LeBron, Aaron Gordon versus LeBron. Jamal Murray, his matchup against some of the defensive guards that the Lakers have. Michael Porter Jr., is he going to be consistent? If he is going to be consistent, you know, can he also contribute on the defensive end to help out Aaron Gordon with guarding LeBron James and helping out Jokic with guard Anthony Davis? So, I think that's all for the Western Conference Finals that I wanted to talk about for today. Again, the Western Conference Finals actually kicks off the conference finals, and they kick it off today at 7:30 Central on ESPN. Moving on to a series that, in my opinion, should kind of be lopsided. But, you know, with these two teams and the history that they got, it's probably not going to be. It's probably going to be a very competitive series. The Eastern Conference Finals, on the Eastern Conference Finals side of the bracket, we see the number 2 seed Boston Celtics versus the number 8 seed Miami Heat. Celtics just wrapped up their semis series in very dramatic fashion. Jason Tatum dropping 51 points in a statement win. What does this mean for the Eastern Conference Finals? Well, there are two key things for the Celtics, and there are a few points I want to harp on with the Heat. Number one, Jason Tatum has to be consistent. We can't have the up and down shit that we saw last series. You got away with it because, you know, you pulled your panties out your ass and you manned up and like you took the game over like the superstar that I think you are. And I would say a good portion of NBA fans that watch basketball would either see you on track to being or either see you already are. Jason Tatum, we can't have the inconsistency shit. We can't do it. You have to show up versus this Miami team. Why do you have to show up versus this Miami team? Because they thrive in situations where you just allow them to claw back in the game, scratch and claw back in the game. They're going to play hard defense all game. They're going to hustle all game. You cannot give them an ounce of opportunity to be like, yo, Jason Tatum, he's off today. Okay, Jason Tatum's off. We got to pick it up and steal this win. That just can't happen. A lot of those times when you were like playing pretty shitty offensively, your teammates had your back and the games were close. Unfortunately, the Sixers are like not. I saw the Sixers as an outside contender, right? Because they were never able to truly capitalize on these Jason Tatum games where he was just absolutely giving the Celtics nothing from the offensive end. Look at Game 6. He had 3 points through 3 quarters, and the game was still close. Tatum then goes to outscore the entire Sixers by himself in the fourth quarter. And that leads to a Game 7 that the Sixers don't win. That's a series losing, fourth quarter for the 76ers. But this team, this Miami Heat team, they routinely, are built for clutch time. They look at the first round performance against Milwaukee. How the game 5? It was 5, right? They only won one game. How game 5 went to overtime. Look at that. Look at the inbound play that they drew for Jimmy. Now he sent that to overtime. Look at, what was that? Game 4 that Giannis came back, and who was that? Was that Gabe Vincent? Was that Gabe Vincent who hit that corner 3 in Giannis's face? You know what I'm saying? So this Miami team is not better than the Sixers talent-wise. They're not even close to the Celtics talent-wise. But you can't give them any sort of avenue to think that they can, operate better with, Jason Tatum playing like shit or something like that. So, Jason Tatum, you have to be consistent this series. And I don't even think that he will be inconsistent this series. I know Jason Tatum has proven himself to me as a playoff performer. So, in my opinion, I think Jason Tatum rights himself, gets back on track, and, things happen. Another thing that I wanted to harp on for the Boston Celtics. They do this thing where they stop clicking offensively, and mainly I think it has to do with their offense not having very much structure, because Joe Mazzulla doesn't run your typical NBA offense. Marcus Smart was, I think he was quoted from The Athletic saying a bunch of the offense is random, and at times you can tell, because when that randomness is super random and it's hurting the team, they go on these offensive dry spells where it's jump shot after jump shot after jump shot, when that wasn't even what they were doing to take whatever lead they had, but at this point have lost because they went cold offensively. They did this at times versus the Golden State Warriors in last year's finals. They did this at times last series versus the Sixers. They did this at time in the first round versus the Hawks. Can't have that. You got to smooth that out offensively. I don't necessarily have the answers to that other than Joe Mazzulla diversify your offensive coaching ability. But yeah, some things I wanted to talk about for the Miami Heat, and then we'll get to my predictions for both series. Jimmy Butler is still not fully recovered from, that ankle injury that kept him out of, Game 3 of the Knicks series. Something to look at, I don't think there's going to be any real cause for concern, because he played the final 2 games of Miami and Heat, the Knicks series. So I definitely think he's going to play every single game of the Celtics series, barring it doesn't get worse for the injury, which he's already playing on it. So he doesn't accidentally re-sprain it. Knock on wood, hope that doesn't happen or something like that. Another thing I want to talk about, Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, the first round was absolutely terrible. The second round, he was bad, and then he picked up his play, you know, towards the end of towards like the game 3, 4, and 5. Like he was pretty solid. Last year we saw Robert Williams absolutely manhandled Bam Adebayo in the conference finals, except for one game where Bam got off for 30. But yeah, Bam Adebayo has to find some sort of consistency offensively. I think that the Heat, throughout this entire playoffs that they've, you know, operated, they've been overachieving. They've been overachieving, and not only have they been overachieving, they've been overachieving with Bam underperforming. I don't think Bam's not gonna be able to underperform in this team, be successful in this Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics are just, when they're on, and more than likely, you know, they are on. When they are on, they're like one of the best teams in basketball. And I don't see the heroic performance that Jimmy put on versus, you know, the Bucks. I don't see that winning this series versus the Celtics. I just don't. As much as I love Jimmy, and I love Jimmy, I'm a Bulls fan. I didn't even want to see Jimmy leave when he left, but, you know, things happen with our management, and I hate our management. But anyways, yeah, Bam, you got to find some sort of consistent jump shot. You know, I think maybe we see Joe Mazzulla take after Ime Udoka's strategy last season and have Robert Williams play significant minutes guarding strictly Bam Adebayo. If that happens, you got to find some way to win that matchup, because what happened last year, if it happens this year, you're getting swept, because Jimmy can't do it alone. The role players on the Heat are good role players, but they're not enough to compete with this Celtics team if Bam Adebayo isn't doing what he needs to do offensively. Defensively, I don't have any worries about Bam Adebayo. Although, well, never mind, they don't have to deal with any super big threat size-wise, because the tallest player on the Celtics is Al Horford. He's not going to bang in the paint a lot like that. And Rob Williams on offense, he's just a lob threat. And Bam Adebayo's, they're like the same height. So yeah, that was all I want to talk about for the Heat and for the Celtics. I got both of these series covered. So now, to end this video off, here are my predictions for the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. Who do I think will be in the 2023 NBA Finals this year? For the Western Conference Finals, give me the Denver Nuggets in 6 games. Yes, you heard it here first. Denver Nuggets in 6 games. For the Eastern Conference, that starts tomorrow, give me the Boston Celtics in 5, making your official prediction for me in this 2023 NBA Finals will be Boston Celtics versus the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think Denver is 6, Boston at 5, and we see a all-time NBA Finals that goes 7 games. And I will not spoil who I think will win, because, you know, it has to come to fruition first. But yeah, quick video, under 20 minutes, short, sweet, to the point, or as short and sweet as I can be, because I can be so long-winded as I'm being right now. I'm gonna try to get you guys the semis review recap tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Thank you, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace out.